the morning yoga routine that you need. Let's start today's practice by coming into an easy seated Sukhasana in the middle of your mat. Take your time to set up into a comfortable cross-leg position with your head over your heart over your hips, and ensuring that your spine is straight and long. Close your eyes so that you can tune in inwards. If you find it difficult to concentrate, a good tip is to close your eyes and practice deep mindful breathing up to 5 times. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Inhale and visualize closing out any external noises or distractions. And exhale to visualize releasing any thoughts or emotions outside the body. Continue slowly and mindfully breathing this way a couple of times. Good. Now, take a long, slow inhale and visualize the breath filling up your belly, expanding your lungs, and lifting your shoulders up. On the exhale, visualize emptying it all out, reversing the motion by letting your shoulders fall down, deflating your chest towards the heart, and emptying out the belly. Got the hang of it? This is a full yogic breath and best practiced early mornings or when you're too tired or overwhelmed. Try it out at your own pace now for a couple of times. Get ready to open your eyes and move on to the rest of the practice. Uncross your legs and come onto your hands and knees in animal pose. Take your time with this and then mindfully stretch back into a full child's pose, resting your hips on your heels and reaching your arms out in front of you. Elongate your spine from the crown of your head all the way till the tailbone and rest your forehead on the mat. This is a great pose to come to when it gets too much or the practice gets too challenging. Now, lift your head up and stretch your hands to the right side of the mat and continue in child's pose. This kind of stretch awakens the muscles along the obliques and the sides of the body. Now, lift up and stretch over to the other side. Keep breathing deeply from the belly, as this pose is a great way to rejuvenate the entire nervous system. Take your time with this pose and bring your awareness to how relaxed this makes you feel. Now, come back to the middle of the mat, take a second, and then lift up into a tabletop to do some classic cat and cow stretches. You know the drill. Inhale and lift from your chest, dropping the navel towards the mat and shifting your gaze upwards. And on the exhale, curl your spine, lifting your navel towards the spine, pushing the mat away and shifting your gaze to the mat. A couple of times just like that at your own pace. This is an excellent wake-me-up for the spine and upper body. Now, come back to neutral spine. You can also shift your hips from side to side and add any movement here that feels good for your back. Moving your hips in circles is a great way to mobilize the entire body. Move clockwise and anti-clockwise and try to go a little bit further with each circle. Now, tuck your toes under and prepare to lift your hips up to stretch back into downward facing dog, because it's important to wake up the lower body as well. Let me remind you that it doesn't matter if you can straighten your legs or not, as the intention would be to elongate the spine and slowly stretch the lower body. So, keep your knees bent as much as you would like. Straighten your spine all the way to the crown of your head and tilt your tailbone towards the ceiling to get the maximum stretch in your downward facing dog. You can also straighten and bend your legs alternately to slowly increase the mobility in each leg. Straighten both knees and release the heels to the mat to stretch completely. Now, shift your gaze to the top of the mat between your hands and walk your feet towards your hands to come into an easy forward fold. Bend your knees generously, placing your hands on the mat for extra support, and then hold your elbows, rocking side to side in a ragdoll pose. Now, prepare for half lift. Place your hands on the mat, straighten your knees, and lift your torso up so that you form a line from the crown of your head all the way till your tailbone. Place your hands on your thighs and lift your chest up. Now, release back down into your forward fold and slowly start to roll up, stacking your spine vertebra by vertebra so that your head comes up at the end of the motion. When you're up, mindfully distribute your body weight on all four corners of the feet and open your palms to face the front in a simple Tadasana. Now, widen your stance slightly more than hip distance apart and raise your arms up above your head, grabbing your elbows. Now, imagine drawing a big circle in front of you using your upper body and bend all the way down, touching the mat and coming up from the other side. Now trace counterclockwise, moving in the opposite side and coming up slowly. Let's call this sunflowers dancing in the wind. Practice this a few more times at your own pace. Great. Now, come back to your Tadasana and clasp your hands at the back, lifting your chest and giving yourself a nice shoulder stretch. Lift your gaze upwards to stretch a little further and then mindfully bend forward, leading with your heart to a bent knee forward fold. Keep pressing your clasped hands away from you and then release your hands down to the mat to completely relax. Inhale into a half lift and exhale back to your forward fold. Good. Now, place your hands on the mat and inhale and stretch your right leg to the back of the mat, bringing your back knee to the mat and stretch into a low lunge. Look forward and feel your body come alive. Next, tuck your toes, lift your knee and release the front leg to the back, coming into a solid high plank. Release both the knees down and lower all the way down to your belly. If this is your first time practicing this, give yourself a pat on the back. Zip your legs together and place your forehead on the mat for a quick second to catch your breath and relax. Now, place your hands under your shoulders, elbows tucked in, elongating your legs and lift your chest up into a Bhujangasana. Let go of the pose by coming down completely on the mat. Now, reverse this entire flow. Tuck your toes and lift back up onto your knees first and then into a plank pose. Coming into a low lunge with your left leg forward and then stretching into a forward fold. Lifting up into a half lift, forward fold again, and then slowly rolling up and stretching into a tiny back bend before coming back to relax into your Tadasana. Amazing. Let's do that on the other side. From your Tadasana, exhale to prepare. Then inhale and stretch to the back in a mini back bend. As you exhale, come all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale to half lift and exhale to forward fold again. On your next inhale, stretch the left leg to the back and come into a low lunge, bringing your hips downwards. Then, stretch the front leg to the back to come into a full plank. Lower down onto your knees and onto your belly on a full exhalation. Take a second and inhale to lift up into Bhujangasana. Then, release your hands to the sides, forehead resting on the mat. Let's try Shalabhasana. Make a fist with your hands and place it underneath your hip points. Place your chin on the mat and using your core, lift both your legs up as much as they can go. You can stay here or also lift your torso up into a full locust. This is a great pose for digestion as well as to strengthen the back. After a couple of breaths, release the pose and take a second to relax. Now bring your palms under your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift up into plank from your knees and exhale to release into downward facing dog. We're going to chill here for a bit. So this time we will attempt to straighten the knees. Practice deep breaths as much as you can. Now, walk forward into a forward fold. Inhale and lift up to half lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to rise up into your mini back bend and exhale to bring your palms together in Tadasana. Now, come to the middle of the mat, opening your legs wider than hip distance with your toes pointing out and heels inwards. Straighten your spine, tuck your tailbone in and lower down into a full goddess squat with your hands on your knees. Now, using your hands to come into a strong stance, slowly lower one shoulder to the front, pushing your knees away, and then the other. This is an excellent full body stretch and also wrings out any toxins from the body, gives your nervous system a full reset and stretches your spine. Do this a couple of times and then come back to your goddess pose. Now, come down to the mat onto your back, hugging your knees in to your chest. Pavan Muktasana is a great detox pose. It helps to eliminate constipation, excess gas, and other digestive issues. Now, release one leg to the mat and continue in your Ardha Pavan Muktasana, holding your knee as close to your chest as possible. You can also lift your head, bringing your nose close to the knee. Now, switch sides, hugging your knee in on the other side. Now, bring both your knees into your chest into a full Pavan Muktasana once again. Then slowly place your feet on the mat to completely let go of the pose. Let's get into Setu Bandhasana. Place your hands to the sides and heels closer to your butt. Tuck your tailbone and then lift your hips up. You can also clasp your hands under to stretch into the full pose. Shift your gaze to your belly and stay here for a couple of deep breaths. Exhale and release the pose. Now, letting the soles of your feet touch, open your knees apart to relax in Supta Baddha Konasana as we begin to close this practice. Open your palms upwards and try to bring your awareness to the gentle rise and fall of your belly as you inhale slowly and exhale completely. Good. Release this pose by placing your feet on the mat. We have one more move before we close this practice. Lift your legs up into a tabletop position and place your hands on your knees. Now, using your hands to guide the knees, draw as big circles as you can to mobilize the hips. You can choose which direction feels best to you. After a couple of circles, come to rest with your knees bent, feet on the mat, one hand on the belly and one on the chest, and feel the gentle rise and fall of your body against your palms. Take your time to tune into your body, being grateful for showing up on the mat for today's practice and for every breath you're taking. Come to relax on the mat, and once you're ready, curl into a ball, knees back onto your chest, lifting your head up, and slowly roll back and forth, giving yourself a self-massage. Then land your feet firmly on the mat with your mind, body, and breath completely relaxed. Take a couple of deep breaths to check in with yourself, how you're feeling, setting the intention for the rest of your day, and take one more breath to seal the intention.
So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found this video useful. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and comment below what more you would like to see on my channel and what part of this video served you the most. As always, I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep practicing my videos right here. Namaste.